Hi Magnet, this is Miss Basket, your director, here to share key information for hybrid students and to review an important newsletter that has been put together for their return to campus. Our learning target for today's presentation is that you can understand the procedures for hybrid students returning to campus and know where to get additional information if needed. We'll be reviewing our return to campus information newsletter. This is a special edition of Magnet News for hybrid students, and it is a guide as we return to campus. As we review this information, please keep in mind that our mission at RMSST to be a specialized, research-focused learning community that fosters and produces students who think ethically, critically, and independently while excelling in competitive academic environments and demonstrating high standards and expectations has not changed. We remain committed to this mission and our vision of producing STEM scholars ready to lead in a world of accelerated change. As we started the year, we discussed the importance of focused flexibility as we had the same mission, a renewed vision that was all the more important as the world was changing faster than any of us could have ever expected, and our new format. Now, as we move into hybrid, we're just having a new format with many of our students still remaining virtual and many students returning to campus in a safe, socially distanced environment. So now let's review what those conditions are for students returning to campus and key information and procedures. Shared here is our return to campus information, a guide for returning to campus. And although it is quite comprehensive, I do know that I may not have answered all of your questions. So if you have any remaining, please give me an email so that I can make sure that everyone is informed and understands our new procedures as we return to campus safely. Starting out in our newsletter, you'll see our spring hybrid virtual class schedule that will start February 22nd. Classes begin at 8:05 a.m. Under hybrid starting February 22nd. And we'll have slightly longer class periods to accommodate for additional cleaning needs within the hybrid school day. As we adjust to hybrid on campus, our teachers will be sharing with virtual learners when we'll be transitioning so that they also have a break at home. Our lunch period will be in our third block from 11:05 to 1:25 p.m. and I will share more information later on in this video about lunch. Please note that the district assigned our learner groups, Group 1 and Group 2. Group 1 will attend on Monday and Tuesday. Group 2 will attend on Wednesday and Thursday. The school day ends at 3:05 p.m. So this is different than what we've been running during virtual. So students, please review this carefully and adjust your alarms accordingly. Now this will be our schedule Monday through Thursday. Friday, we do have our instructional focus on enrichment and remediation broken up by our class periods. Students should have a session to attend every Friday, as well as important information and live sessions on both advisement and social emotional learning with our counselors. Although students will have time for some asynchronous work across Fridays, they should certainly be focused as it is still a school day. Even though we aren't together on campus, we are together virtually. Next, as you scroll through the newsletter, you will see information on arrival, our hallways and classrooms, and dismissal and bus routes. Our main entrance doors will open at 7:40 a.m. and students will report directly to their first period class. Students wanting breakfast will pick up a grab and go directly from the station that will be outside the RCHS auditorium, then report directly to class. Please note that it's important that students do not arrive before 7:40 a.m. as we are not allowed to have students congregate in the cafetorium or the learning commons like we may have done in years prior. Students who ride the buses who have a first period at RCHS will go directly into the RCHS building through the curved hallway doors right as they get off the buses. Students riding buses who have a first period at Magnet will enter the building using the covered walkway doors by our biology classrooms. All available staff will be out supporting students as we get to their classes, and I'll share a little bit more about that later. But please know, students, that we understand you have not been, many of you have not physically been in school, particularly our ninth graders, to these classes, and we will help you get where you need to go. For our hallways and classrooms, reminders to socially distance have been placed every 10 feet on the magnet hallway floors. Traffic will always walk to the right, keeping distance between others. You'll be reminded to move directly from one class to the next without congregating in the hallway, and we have signage posted throughout the building to reinforce our physical distance expectations. And we'll be monitoring frequently as well throughout our hallways. Classrooms with the hybrid numbers, student numbers will be reduced to maintain social distancing in the classrooms. Our classrooms have also been arranged to maximize the space between students. And of course, very key here, as we'll go into in a little while with our safety rules, face coverings shall be worn in the classroom along with social distancing to maximize safety for students and teachers. 2 warnings for mask violations will result in a virtual learning placement. We will also be using assigned seating in the classrooms. Students, I know this kind of stinks, but it is necessary for us to have that electronically submitted in advance so we can have it for contact tracing. So we will be using assigned seating. For dismissal, staggered dismissals will start at 2:55 each day. Car riders will be dismissed by 3:05 p.m. each day. A student must ride the bus home or be picked up by 3:15 p.m. daily. So the earliest a student can arrive to campus is 7:40 a.m. and the latest is 3:15. Students will be dismissed based on specific bus arrivals if they are riding the bus. Students who arrive back on campus from RCA buses will go directly to their final bus routes. They won't return back into our school building. We'll be at the exit doors to support students and also ensure social distance. When feasible and appropriate, our car riders will wait outside, socially distance on the sidewalk rather than inside because of the reduction of virus spread outdoors. In the case of inclement weather, we will have a socially distanced option for our car riders. Families needing information on their students' bus route to and from school should visit the RCPS transportation page, and that's linked here in the newsletter. So please do review the information on arrival, hallways and classrooms, dismissal and bus routes in detail here, so you can review the expectations for that as we return to campus. It's very important to note as we come back to campus that we will be following the RCPS dress code. After so many months of virtual school, we do recognize that it will be an adjustment for students returning to school, but just like we're preparing for the workforce in college ahead of us, as you get prepared to be global STEM leaders, following a dress code is part of our expectations here. And you can find that dress code accessible at this district link if you need reminding. Now, how's lunch going to work? You're actually going to order your school lunch by Sunday evening each week. Hybrid students should use this lunch choices form, and it looks just like this. You'll fill it out with your name, your ID number, and you'll get your choices here of what you would like to eat for lunch. The lunch form includes the menu options available to students each day. No response will result in a hot lunch being ordered for you. So if you have third block lunch at Magnet, lunches will be delivered to our campus daily. Students will have their lunch delivered to their classrooms or pick up via a socially distanced grab and go station. Students will then have a 25-minute time period for lunch within third block. What will lunch look like if I have third block at RCHS? You will follow your RCHS teacher's instructions for lunch, which will include visiting a grab and go station for lunch by the RCHS cafeteria. You do not need to order your items in advance if you're in third block class at RCHS. By having our lunches delivered to our campus, it will prevent the up and down movement of students up and down the stairs additionally for lunch. So we're excited to have this opportunity for to limit the movement on campus. And what if you want to bring your lunch? Students who bring their lunch from home should plan to pack a lunch that can be eaten cold. Microwaves will not be provided for students due to the opportunity for cross-contamination with a high-touch device. So keep that in mind, as we have traditionally had microwaves, but there will be no microwaves accessible to students. Important note is that the USDA changed their guidelines through May 2021 so that all children under age 18 in Rockdale County are able to eat school lunch for free. So again, those hot lunch options, I encourage everyone to look at the form for lunch choices and order their lunch by Sunday each week, Sunday evening each week. For your personal health and safety, this is very important. We can only stay safe together by all working together to remain safe. So for personal health, parents must monitor the health of their children and, very important, keep sick students at home. This includes checking your student's temperature and monitoring for other possible symptoms of COVID-19 daily. Our staff will certainly also be doing the same. Students and staff who test positive for COVID-19, whether they're symptomatic or asymptomatic, must remain at home for the length of time recommended by the Public Health Department. Please contact me, our school's primary contact tracer, should you test positive or show symptoms. Our clinic aides are going to be trained to identify the symptoms of COVID-19. We will be working with the RCHS nurse and out of the RCHS clinic for this, and we will immediately isolate students with any symptoms. Parents will be required to pick up sick children immediately from school. In the event that a parent cannot be reached, the emergency contact for the student will be called. You can have some links here available to COVID-19 resources, as well as our RCPS Return to Campus Guidebook, which has more detailed information as well. Please note that parents, students, staff, and visitors cannot enter our school with symptoms of COVID-19 or having been exposed to COVID-19 or having tested positive for COVID-19 without first going through the appropriate isolation period as directed by our Department of Public Health. For additional safety information, wearing masks, frequent hand washing, and social distancing are the 3 key mitigation measures to keep our magnet family safe. Remember that magnet keeps magnet safe. Let's support one another as we learn these new routines for safety. Masks are required for all staff and students. There will be 2 warnings for mask violations before a student is placed on virtual learning. Let's make our goal to have 0 violations. Masks include non-medical and medical grade disposable face masks and cloth face coverings over the nose and mouth. Masks shall be worn in the classroom in all common areas. Lunch is the only approved time when masks can be removed while a student is eating. Full face shields are optional, but they cannot be used in place of a mask. So your nose and your mouth must be covered. Students and staff will provide their own face coverings and face shields that adhere to the district's dress code. If students arrive at school without a mask, then one will be given to them. We cannot enter the school building without a mask. We will have hand washing breaks and sanitizer stations set up throughout the school. We'll be giving students frequent reminders about hand sanitizing and proper hand hygiene. For supplies and technology, students should use their own school supplies. They should not share laptops with other students. If a student forgets their laptop for the day, their teacher will call Mr. Sparkman at Magnet, who will issue a loaner device. Students should not share electronic devices and other personal belongings. So please bring your charged laptop. You will be using them throughout your classes, and make sure that you do have that ready each day. There's information here on the free COVID-19 testing from the district. We do encourage all of our students who are returning on a hybrid schedule to take advantage of this opportunity, and to please pre-register a day in advance by going online. You can find out more information on the links here. You can also register for Kids Doc on Wheels and free feminine hygiene products, with more information available here. We recognize that the trauma of the present COVID-19 pandemic has hit all school communities hard. As we prepare for a return to campus, it's important that we continue discussing social and emotional learning. So I've shared some links here that can be a support to your family throughout this time. Meeting with your counselors. During hybrid, our counselors will be meeting with students virtually for advisement and non-emergency appointments. If a student has an emergency and needs to speak with a counselor during a hybrid school day when they are present, then they should notify their teacher, and then they can get a pass to the front office. Our front office clerk, Mrs. Waltower, will direct students in how to complete a color-coded counseling request form. Counselors and students will use the college room to allow for social distance during any in-person appointments. You can find many more resources by clicking the virtual office link here. You can request an appointment with Ms. Cobb or Ms. Lewin here for non-emergencies. And then students and families should also be aware of the following resources available to them: the Georgia Crisis and Access Line, the Child Abuse Hotline, and the Crisis Text Line, which is available free 24/7, as we want our students and families to know how to get help even during those times when the counselors aren't at work. For key information for our 9th graders. Now this is special for my 9th graders. All hybrid 9th grade students will take the PSAT 8-9 next week. You had separate information sent to you, but I included some more of it here. I just want every 9th grader to know that we will be doing that on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on which hybrid group you are in. For finding your classes, 9th graders, again, we understand that you know your schedule from virtual learning. However, finding the physical locations is going to be new to you. So I have some information about which teachers are located where in our building, but please know we'll have staff throughout the building to make you feel more comfortable. And as an effort to help you feel more comfortable also, I've included our open house videos from the beginning of the year, which include a student tour through the building to help you remember what it looks like from your time during the admissions process last year, 9th graders. So you'll see our 9th grade open house here, our magnet student expectations, going through how to balance your virtual school day. We will be going through with our hybrid learners during their first days on campus our reminders for on-campus expectations for rules and behavior within our PBIS matrix. But please keep in mind, a lot of the time our students are still going to be virtual also, and it might be a great time to relook at this student expectations video. And I also included that great welcome from our student leaders. Just as we are so excited to have you back on campus, I wanted to make sure that you heard this great welcome from our students as our 9th graders come on campus for the first time as students. I also have links to 2 tutoring opportunities, as we know that it's important that we continue supporting our students for academic achievement. There's the free Rockdale SOS online tutorials with no pre-registration required for math, science, and foreign language. Your students can just jump right into there. You'll see that it just pulls up the schedule, and they would just click that link to join the session that was happening that night at 6 o'clock. We'll see here on the 22nd, there's math help available at 6 p.m., science on the 23rd at 5. So students can just click the link and join the teams right then. We also have more targeted peer tutoring program available at Magnet. You can actually click this link and it'll take you to a form to request a peer or alumni tutor. Finally, our Return to School newsletter includes some reminders about attendance, tech help, late work, and our PBIS matrix. Attendance and participation are expected for all live sessions and any meetings assigned by your teachers. Students who've selected hybrid are expected to attend in person on their assigned days. You'll use the same attendance link, taking you to this attendance form submission for any students who miss a hybrid or a virtual day. This is also the same form you can report for state-approved absences or if you have technical difficulties one day. Remember, our second semester late work protocol is different. You should always strive to submit assignments on the due date. Missing a due date should be the exception and not the plan. Still, we do understand that sometimes things happen. As shared in our second semester syllabi, the RMSST second semester late work protocol is that missing work may be submitted up to 10 school days after the due date. So please make sure that you're on top of that, striving to turn in work on the due date so you can get that just-in-time feedback as needed, but also knowing that they have to be turned in within those 10 school days. Rockdale County Bulldogs are respectful, responsible, on time, and ready to learn. We will be talking more about what that means on campus during our hybrid first week of hybrid together. And then I just have our great mission here as a school to close us out, because it's always important for us to remember, even though the format may be shifting and changing, that our mission here to support our students in a research-focused learning community so that they excel while also thinking ethically, critically, and independently remains the same. So thank you for your time and attention as you've reviewed these important resources. I hope that this video guide made it a little easier for you to understand the expectations and procedures as we come back for hybrid. Please send me questions and I'll be happy to continue being a resource. I look forward to seeing our students back on campus on their assigned days for the week of February 22nd.